I just came from Finland. I was meeting different leaders, and we had a good discussion. Some specialists in the field of comprehensive security, politics, and also in health science. And then I just shortly visited Stockholm coming here. And I thought that how easily people are nowadays. I mean, we have, what we call the three evidences how things could be. They call Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. But what is nowadays the evidence is just internet. It's just basically social media or whatever is there. And then it easily, like before now this corona panic, which is completely unnecessary, there was already these fake news, like in Finland, for example, they made some minister. It's a military technique where you combine this, you know that better even, but they combine they take a video of the person, and then they modify their talks, like, it looks like they are talking. Like the richest man in Finland, he's this Kone cranes, which are making those elevators.
Yeah, Kone.
Yeah. So Pekka Herlin. So his talk was like, about bitcoins and everything, and it became like a news, but it was not news. It was just fake news. He has never said anything like that. So that's military technique, and also now when we hear different political views, there is this conspiracy theories, then there is this comprehensive securities pointing, that it could be from America, it could be from Russia, where it flip out, but the evidence is that although humankind made that kind of a virus, it may be captured by human and spread by the human. So they try to now conquer down this idea of conspiracy theory, that it's not conspiracy because it's not made by man. But the thing is that what is made by man? The countryside is not made by man. Still, man is manipulating that. So in that sense, there is the idea that whether it flip out from the biological warfare, it could be, it was purposefully made like that, and then they are saying that the roots of the virus is not actually going directly the same routes than the tourists are going. The tourists they have this idea that wherever the tourists are going, the Chinese especially, but it doesn't relate. Iran, which doesn't have this Chinese tourist route, got a lot of the virus. So then there is the theory that maybe somebody is spreading that. It's spread by the tourists, but it's also spread by somebody who is doing that purposefully. So how we can get to know is kind of what I thought, just a little we discussed, because that's so therefore there is what Shastra says. Shastra says that all the sinful activities, they give a reaction which is pain, for example, in the physical level. Let's say, like, Shastra is saying that if you have a strong back pains or something like that, you have done some illicit affairs which will get the reaction on that level. So in our philosophical terms, if we have heard about Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, so they are his agents. They are kind of just getting some kind of a reminding as in the form of reactions. So that is and therefore there are two terms. There is cleanliness, for example, related to the virus, and then there's purity. So even the cleanliness would be perfect, like washing the hands or everything. If the purity is not there, then reactions are coming. So that now then we can, if we see from that level, we see that ultimately seems to be that it's our Western people's sinful reactions, which which made it happen. And on the other sense, there has to be the operational level. Like I yesterday read the article of very professional doctors in that field, and because some people they said, they are saying it's only normal virus. They said no, it's not normal virus. It's weaker than the normal virus. It's not the normal. They said normal virus, like last year there was virus A here in Sweden. Over 13,500 people were insured and infected, and hundreds of people died. So it's not that effective virus like last year, this virus A.
So last year also there was virus.
Last year was, but nobody mentioned anything. Nothing. There was virus A. It's in the Swedish government reports. So now someone other the media has looked really over the whole thing, and when even the health inspectors are trying to say something sane, it's completely pulled down. Nobody cares. So then how to know? Our thing is that Shastra says, like in the wartime, whenever there was problem, people knew, oh, calamities are coming because of something has done wrong. So they went to the churches and they were glorifying the Lord. Like now you were doing exactly the best cure. I mean, how much more we can wash our hands? You know, there's some limit how much we can wash and whatever. So we can, in the meanwhile we do that, of course. That's the natural Vaishnava standard. But then we do more. So the more is that glorification, and the funny thing, and that should be going on, but the funny thing is that demons are gathering, like even, you know, like even in the parliaments, they give the restriction not more than 10 people in church and assemblies. They themselves are gathering in 200s, 300s. So it doesn't make any sense. Yesterday in Finland, it was revealed the Minister of Social and Health Affairs that there are only 5 cases which are hospitalized, which are considered to be serious. And 12 more is all who are in the hospitals. So normally it's about 400 or 500. So it's not spread at all. I'm coming from the area, there is 0 cases that are currently.
But in Sweden now the number is increasing to 1,600.
Yeah, you know, there is the thing, but last year it was 13,500. So it's still quite less. This is nothing, this is just because of the wind blows and all the time completely healthy. So the thing is that last year it was still 10 times more, but nothing was done. So then it comes, you know, that what is this element of, you know, what is there? I mean, normally it's that, you know, demons try to control. They love this control element. Like for example, in our country, they say, go isolated and be isolated, stay at your home. People will start to went to the summer cottages because that's very nice, sauna there and everything. You know, virus doesn't live in those saunas, so it's 27 degrees and it's killed. So then they don't go to cottages. First they say be a little isolated, but then people start to just enjoy, you know. You know, it's spring already, so they go to the summer cottages, have sauna. It's like, you know, this, I saw sometimes this kind of nurses who are working for the kindergartens. They have this, you know, for every person they have this kind of like a rope, and all the kids are looking like kind of a puppets in their hands. So it's more like this kind of enjoyment, just controlling people. And now we have faced a problem. They said old people has to be protected. Old people couldn't care less. They assembly, they go to the cafes, they go to the cinemas, they assembly everywhere, because what else there to be done? And they were interviewed and said they were kids when the Second World War. We saw the Second World War. We saw that and that calamity. This is not even happening much. So then the old people couldn't care less, and now the government has the problem what to do with the old people, because they don't obey the orders, and they don't know what to do. So our cure is chanting Mahamantra. As long as that goes on, the impurities will be covered. One chanting is already, what you did now, it's already purifying a lot. And then, of course, in Ayurveda, they says, take ginger, do this and that level. And of course, every, sane people knows that the principle of keeping sick people and health people separate is there. But like in Finland, they put health people, homes. I mean, that doesn't, schools closed and everything, it doesn't make any sense. So they should continue, the health people should continue, and ill people are naturally staying at home. They are naturally staying. And if they happen to have the carry, then, the virus is over in 3 days for the normal healthy people, like it happened in a few cases. So there has been viruses since time immemorial, and Ayurveda is recognizing Narada, recognizing, and Srimad Bhagavatam is recognizing. But then somehow or another, like we discussed, Chirant, that somehow or another, then, devotees, when they see this now, they start to even panic more. It's like basically say, oh, can we die? People are not dying for this, virus, but still, the death has been existing a little longer than this, 3 months period. It has been always there. So it's like, oh, the death can happen. Even one, I spoke yesterday with one temple president, and he said, even one is too much if it happens. Well, it happens all the time anyhow. It happens all the time anyhow. Whatever we do, people are dying. So even one is too much, so let's go then back to Godhead, There is no deaths. Yeah, just to say something, because I'm getting a little annoyed. I'm trained to be the crisis manager officer. So I know what is real crisis. And of course, there are symptoms of, we could recognize some biological warfare element could be there, hybrid element could be there, but still on the operational level, it should be only the ignorance is making us panicking in one sense. If we know, like you go in India sometimes and in the evening you see something, but there is normally no light. You see something which looks like a snake. You put the light, oh, it's just a robe. Nothing. So if you put a little knowledge light, then this whole virus is. But the good thing is, of course, like now I came here and the air is so much more pure when the aircrafts are not flying. It's actually very much more pure. In Finland they made a joke, that ultimately all the decisions, political parties are never satisfied. Now, true Finns, they got all the borders closed. Wonderful. Communists got all the shops, empty. Their dream is fulfilled. And what was the else? Yeah. One was called Central Park. They got their previous chair to quarantine. They are very happy with that. And what else? There was basically listed. Everybody got what the Greeks got the aircrafts down and like that. So one sense, but it's ridiculous, and shows how much this mass media is nowadays controlling people. Actually, media comes from the word medus, which means put a spell or bad eye to somebody. So they are basically like spelling you. It's like, this tantric in the India. They look like kind of a spell to you. This media is doing the same with their own. So it comes from the Middle East, old word. Put a spell or like spelling, that's what it means. Put a bad eye. Like, sometimes this tantric. In South India, they are sometimes quite, they come to the train and the train is full, and then they just look somebody and the person just moves aside. So they have some kind of a psychic power. So the media has a little bit also this kind of a psychic power, but it doesn't last if you put the lights on. is there some kind of I just thought to say something because I'm getting quite annoyed of this whole Western civilization goes down by one virus, and even many ISKCON centers are closed, although there is no reason for that. I mean, if government is saying in Sweden, don't assemble over 500, how often we are getting 500 to our temples? Quite rarely. So we could have 500, and it would be still according to the law, according to the statement, this is temporary anyhow. So that's and then amongst the devotees is kind of the idea that we are kind of better, we are not good people. Like I said yesterday to one temple president, I said that we have to care, we have to care, people. I said, you don't care at all. Oh, well, because you're not gathering. By singing the Lord, we are caring. By gathering together, we are getting strength. Demonical forces are doing the same. They are gathering in order to get force to their decisions. They are gathering together. They are not even doing internet meetings. So we have to, I'm not saying that all in these bureaucratical systems are demons, but I say that behind this whole thing is an evil elements.
No, it has started with the wrong things, like they have the soup of a snake and bat. So
yeah,
a starting point is you can say demon activity, like demon.
Yeah.
Or this virus.
Yeah. That's the whole thing.
Even we cannot think of all those things what they are doing.
Yeah, it's like what you thought about this. Have you been, when you were last in India, before this virus? How is it there?
7 months, there was no problem.
Yeah, that was, now they also closed.
August, I was there. So now they are everything is closed there. They are reacting because they are so afraid that because their population is very condensed, areas are there. So that's why they are very much concerned that if it will spread here, then it will be like a problem, because people in India, the living style is different. They don't care much about hygienes and they live like with the flow. Because there's no and people in India, like government don't have a capability to give facilities easily to all the people. Because if there is a problem nowadays, what people that there is businessmen, they are doing like this water bottle of 50 like 20 rupees, they will sell it into 50 rupees or 100 rupees. So that's exploiting, and you can say that kind of mentality people have. And that's why it's very dangerous situation for India if it is true, all the data whatever they are showing. So that's why they are taking care of more, and the Prime Minister said that try to avoid the same thing, gathering and wash your hands and all the basic general guideline. No one knows actually exactly what it is and how they should see. But there are some yoga teachers like Baba Ramdev. So he said you don't have to worry about anything. He said that we have so many things. He showed one medicine also, Ayurvedic, and he said you just take this every day and you do yoga, and what is the problem? And that's what he said. He was laughing. He was saying that now everyone has to do yoga. What to do?
Maybe that's it. In Finland they analyzed the all experienced politicians. They analyzed that the decision is nothing to do with reality, like they close borders and schools and all. But it's just because the opposition is looking any fault from the government who is in power, and they are young ladies in this case. So the risk is on double way, like kind of to make mistakes. So then the opposition is, you don't do anything. So then they have to do this kind of extreme, which is doesn't. And then of course there's, the economy is going down. So it's vampire, it's just, whatever you do. Because
So-
opposition is always.
Yeah, whenever they will become defensive, they
Yeah.
have to lose their energy. So
Yeah.
they are becoming too much defensive, which is not required. Then they have to pay somewhere else.
Yeah.
So they will pay through economy.
Yeah.
And same thing is going to happen with all the countries, whatever they are
Yeah,
doing.
all the countries will
Yeah.
have.
It's called, in political terms, it's called political correctness. They don't care about people. Decisions are not balanced. It's just a question of their own, saving their own, basically like, saving
Government.
their own position and sacrificing the others. In Vedic, that's mentality is called actually Rakshasa. That's called Rakshasa mentality actually. And that's quite it's a combination of I think Brahmana mother and Sudra man. That combination gives that mentality, because it's like we see the dogs are combined certain way, you get a certain mixed dog. If the men are combined, the human are combined wrong way, let's say the Brahmana lady is begetting the child for the Sudra, that is called actually Chandala or Rakshasa. So that is the mentality which is then strange.
But
So they're giving harm.
China cured their people
Yeah.
social isolation,
Yeah.
and just everyone is following social isolation, and that's why these things are done. Is to close
I
down.
spoke today with our leader in Prague. Everything is very restricted. You can't go to the streets anymore. If you go to the shop, only one person per family, and everybody has to use this mask, and the disease is spreading like anything.
Where, bro?
Czech
Czech Republic.
Republic.
Yeah, okay.
So it doesn't relate with that also. There is some other elements with that. So, but it's in China it went down. Yeah, that's good.
Yes,
But let's say, for example, I came yesterday to one temple and I couldn't even get in. I'm coming from the area where everybody is healthy. No one case. Southern Karelia, it's near the Russian border. So there is no one case. The whole area is white area up to Kainuu, up to 700 kilometers. No one case there. So then, I should be worried if I go somewhere. Am I getting maybe something? But everybody is just concerned about that. It's getting this kind of well, in Finland it's maybe the Finnish dream, nobody nowhere. I went to the airport by train. There's nobody in the train. Only the inspectors. There's nobody. No, I was the only one who stepped out at the airport. I mean, now the airports are the most clean places. They are cleaning there all the time. No people in the airports. It's like after nuclear warfare. You go there.
only 10% people are going to airport,
Yeah, because all the
and even the airport is also operating only 10%
Yeah.
flights.
mostly all the companies are bankrupt. In Sweden, the government has to take 31 million euros bigger loan in order to support now this whole catastrophe. 31 million.
In Sweden, the
Europe.
government will support. In India, they will not give a single paisa to the people.
Yeah. Now we have a number of friends, yoga teachers and this and that. They are stuck now in India. One went to Thailand. She's teaching in Rishikesh yoga. She went to Thailand just to extend the visa. She couldn't get back. She couldn't get back. What about from India to Finland? No, there is no flying.
No flight. I think India has declared that there is no flight to any European country, to or from any European country.
Yeah.
So some of the people are in just on the airport, like you have fly over time somewhere.
Yeah.
So there, because India will say there is no flight should not come here. So they are on airport only.
Yeah.
So in middle, they are not even in Europe. or they are not even in India?
So most of the people are on Dubai airport.
Abu Dhabi. So yeah, that may be the case. But Prabhu, what you will say about these numbers they are showing, like 1700 and increasing
the specialists were analyzing, like in Finland, about before they closed the borders and make that decision, which was about 3 days ago, then the government was announcing certain numbers. And when some specialists were analyzing, then they said in 3 days the situation changed so much. But what was in reality was that I think that 30 more people get influenced. In that sense, not hospitalized, but influenced. But 27 were cured. So how much is a change that 3 more persons got some symptoms of flu? So it's like saying than if we would say that, oh, this year so many more death happening, something is wrong, and we would start it from the last year numbers. So it's called culminating mathematics. It's not the mathematics how it is. It's a certain different way to calculate mathematically. Mathematically, they should all the time count, how many are now influenced and how many get cured. And in that sense, these numbers I saw completely 3 different. One was that 1/3 of the world, so 1/2 of the world will be influenced. One was just that almost nothing. So there seems to be very much, according the so-called specialists and their calculation. But still, since it's less powerful than normal virus, but it's more spreading, maybe many people are getting that. So, but without almost knowing that they had it.
Yes.
So it's just 3 days and it's gone. So in that sense, that we can't avoid, but they make that, like in Finland, basically it's just all people who has multi, symptoms anyhow, illnesses, and they are, whatever they get, they get some spring flu, they have to be taken to hospital any case, or something. So they are now then there, so then out of 5 who need special care, 1 is less than 40 years old. So they only emphasize this 1 less than 40 years old person. So it's creating panic unnecessarily. So I would say for that mathematics they are using. I mean, I did my university studies in mathematics. It's not how the mathematics is supposed to go.
But in Italy, situation is worse.
Italy is worse. Italy is quite bad. That is bad, There's number of different, that Chinese are working there and this and that. So yeah, somehow Italy is bad. So.
Oh, numbers of Chinese are more in Italy.
Yeah, I heard that they are working some kind of. Italy has become almost like an extension of China workers for some factories and this and that. So there has been a lot of exchange. So Italy is more, but there has been, like I asked for my mother, she said, oh my God, this whole thing. She said, there was this and that, after Second World War, one wave after another, different kind of black box. This and so many different, this kind of epidemics came there. They came and gone. So
in Italy.
Yeah, after Second World War.
Okay.
So many came and gone, and schools were not closed. Those who were ill, they were kept at home, naturally. Those who were healthy, they stayed and studied. Now in Finland, there is no studies going on. Like Mangal is still doing the studies from her home. She's doing the internet teaching to schools. So she's still doing the full days, even more difficult to get everybody, to listen.
Yeah, it is difficult. Like we are working from home and
Yeah.
the numbers of meeting has been increased.
Yeah.
Earlier there are 2-3 meetings. You have 6 to 7 meetings. So what?
And it's disturbing, and not even the quality of work is also not good, and it's disturbing if you are doing work from home.
Yeah. It's not the same. Like let's say we are now in the classroom or temple room environment. Why is it like this? Because it helps the focus. So if, for example, on the teaching, I'm studying also a little further studies in university, if that would be done in the pub, like then it's not the same. Like Manga said, she did some lecture, and when the video is put on, some student is lying on the bed. In school you couldn't do that. So therefore, is the learning as good if you are sleeping on the bed than you are sitting on the classroom? Not so that good. So it's just this thing of, therefore, it's purposefully that churches are made for certain things. Everything has its purpose, dharma. So this basically is like cutting all the time, doing things adharmically, like against the dharma, against anything. And it's just this kind of whimsicalishness, and it's very much seems to be just, like order or anything without any kind of explanation. So it's, very aim for education, one of the character aim is independently thoughtful. So we are supposed to be independently thoughtful, analyzing and getting, and unfortunately nowadays most of the information is false information. So that's what we have to check. For me, it took about, as long as the coronavirus has been there, I've been getting different information, different sources, then you put it together, and then you get up to this point, it's now. There's maybe still something to be revealed, but now you can already operate well. I mean, I don't like to be too sarcastic, but now just, if you like to stay healthy, go to the airports, go to the assembly place, go to the churches. They are all most clean places, nobody is there. It will be spread now soon in the press bureau, or, in some, whenever people are assembling. Maybe it's the little next time, all the littles are, people are panicking, you should not go to the little, you should not go to the press bureau. I mean, people are always assembling somewhere. So it doesn't, and therefore, like in Czech, I heard they are assembling and it's spreading. So the principle is just keeping the health people and the ill people separate. So when it has been that ill people are going so much to anywhere, they stay homes at anyhow. So now everybody stays at home. It's a bit risky. And so that sense, let's just, the health people will stay more healthy if they will stay on the healthy activities. More sinful activities, I don't mention now in Bhagavatam lecture, but in Finland there are funny statistics what are happening more when people are now, it's more illicit activities happening.
Yeah, they will drink, they will do.
They will drink, they have sex, they have.
Yeah,
that's what is increasing. Sinful activities.
And they will got some other kind of disease then.
Yeah,
They will.
yeah. I mean, they are not. The only cure would be, not doing anymore the same things, which ultimately were cause of the ultimate cause. Of course, there are these political and conspiracy and this and that maybe between. These theories are very, but now they don't get rid of it, they do more. So it will take another form, it will come again and again and again. Maybe not in the name of coronavirus, something else. So the only cure is ultimately, increase our purity, increase the chanting, trust to the sastric evidences. Like you said, some of these, teachers in India, they have just told already the truth and laughing. And then people are saying, oh, like yesterday I was talking with some leader 1.5 hours, and then he was saying, oh, you said we should not take coronavirus seriously. No, we take it seriously. I wouldn't talk so much about that, but on the balanced way seriously, not in the panic way seriously. That is definitely is the, oh, you should go now to the middle of the ill people. I normally not go to the hospitals or somewhere anyhow. The hospitals are for the ill people, and ill people are not coming to the assemblies of the health people. I mean, they stay at home. So everybody's using common sense. Now it's like, you know, you don't have a common sense, we have to guide you. Like, you know, like kind of, you know, we don't anymore use any common sense. It's like, you know, where the intelligence has gone. And that was always there. People always use that. Oh, what about if now? What about if now somebody, you know, like for example, coming here and try to suspect. I mean, it's not happening. And if people have doubt, like many have, they don't come anyhow. But we should just, we just now the audiences are smaller, you know, this and that, but we have to continue. If we stop that determination to continue, because ultimately even this in military circles always there have been this discussion of this third war and nuclear war. Nothing happens without Krishna's sanction. Nothing can happen. Also not even those things. But if we continue what we are supposed to do, then I mean we are not better than any ordinary. You know, then of course we will just go with the waves. Yeah. Nice to speak with some, you know, sane, intelligent persons, because that's getting a little, not that people wouldn't, but they are influenced. That's there, but of course, you know, it may create kind of...
Like in India, the people are stopping, like the older people are going in a group for the morning walking. They are saying that you should not go in a group for the morning walking.
Yeah. Because you get power from that assembly. That's they understand. You know, there has been also the different Sky channels which has been trying to always diminish the Hindus gathering in India. They are sponsored by some channels which are Western Christianity background. So they know that assembly gives power, so now you should not assemble. But at the same time they are assembling all the time themselves by making these decisions. So that thing, nobody restricts that. So parliaments, minimum 200-300 plus assistants. Yeah. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
chanting all the Mahamantra. Vishnu Sahasranam, it's mentioned. Actually, ki. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
ISKCON ki.
Jai.
ISKCON Malmö. And the programs ki.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Yeah.